Okay, this is the almanac of Ravel Ravikant, right? So he says that being rich is not an accident, right? He believes that if you drop him in any country with nothing, in 10 years he'll be rich again. So he believes that being rich is a skill. Okay, I'm hopeful that this is true. Okay, so hard work is important and you cannot get rich off hard work alone. This one I clearly fully agree with because yeah, I mean you can just work hard at a job all day long and realize that your pay has a cap to it, right? I believe that the most outstanding 10% of any company is never truly paid what they're actually worth, right? Because yeah, the company will have to take a cut off whatever you are actually producing for the company, right? So how you get rich actually, you actually can get rich by giving society what it wants, but what it does not know how to get yet at scale, right? I think a good example of this is Apple, right? So the iPhone was something that society wanted but didn't know how to get yet until they had the iPhone, right? And they managed to do it at scale, right? Pick an industry where you can play long-term games with long-term people. This one I fully agree with again. I think most industries, uh, or at least the industry that I work in, I don't find that there are many people who look at long-term games, right? So that means they don't play for the long term. They just do things for the year and try to hit their KPI for the year, and that's it. And I don't think that's a very good way of looking at things because for you to succeed at anything at any uh, granular level, for example, I think it takes 5 to 10 years to be actually good at something, and then beyond that, you can start to produce something that maybe other people cannot do in terms of what kind of quality you can produce. So I really think long-term games are very important things to play, right? Have a long-term mindset towards things, right? And looking for people who have long-term mindsets is also a difficult thing to do, right? Don't partner with cynics and pessimists. Their beliefs are self-fulfilling, right? This one I do believe as well. This is something that I have to critique myself because I believe that I'm very much a pessimist by nature. I always look at what can go wrong. In some ways, it is good for investments because you look at risk management quite well. But in other ways, whenever a company, for example, is overvalued, I have a tendency to sell it off. And uh, actually, the companies sometimes they tend to be very good compounders, and over a long period of time, I actually miss out on a lot of gains, right? So that's partly down to my pessimism that a company that is overvalued, I don't, I mean, just to be on the safe side, to secure the profits, I cut it off early, and in the end, it turns out that these companies, the fundamentals catch up with the price, and they become multi-year compounders, and yeah, I miss out on the upside. Yeah, so learn to sell. I believe that this is very very important. In anything you do, you learn to sell. Even when you try and find a job, in an interview, you're actually you're trying to sell yourself to the company, right? So yeah, in any other in the industry that you are in, learn yourself is important. Learn to build because yeah, once you can learn to build something that is original and that is yours and people want, right? But again, goes back to point number two, they want it but they don't know how to get it because only you can produce it, only you are unique enough in that particular position to produce it, right? So arm yourself with specific knowledge, accountability, and leverage. Alright, so these are three things that he believes are very important to becoming rich. Right, so what is specific knowledge? Right, it's the type of knowledge that you cannot train for. Okay, if society can train you, it can train someone else and replace you, right? So basically things you learn in school are examples of things that are not specific knowledge in the sense that yeah, everybody knows the same things. I'm not saying that don't study in school. You do need a certain baseline knowledge before you can do other stuff and create value for people that people want, right? So do study hard in school, right? uh, Specific knowledge is found by pursuing a genuine curiosity and passion rather than whatever is hot right now, right? So currently I think AI is the real hot gig right now. So yeah, I mean, I do believe there's a lot of potential in AI for people to move into it, but if it's not what you're interested in, you're always going to lose out to people who are more passionate about it and more curious about it than you are, right? So pursuing whatever is hot right now isn't the most ideal situation, right? Building specific knowledge will feel like play to you, but will look like work to others, right? Assuming that you have genuine curiosity and passion, and that's what gives you your edge, right? Right? It's possible to find apprenticeships to study specific knowledge, right? I think one example is maybe in investments or entrepreneurship. You can find a mentor to help you through the initial phases of your learning, right? Probably not in school though. Okay, so specific knowledge is often highly technical or creative. It cannot be outsourced or automated, right? So if someone can do what you can do, then maybe your knowledge is not specific enough, right? This is something that uh, I read through and I thought about myself quite a bit. Embrace accountability, take business risks under your own name. Okay, society will reward you with responsibility, equity, and leverage. Right, so taking business risks under your own name, I think forces you to be accountable for what you say. For example, in YouTube, for when you show your face and say what you say, people tend to uh, believe more in you. Not necessarily a good thing for the people who believe in you, because there are a lot of charlatans on YouTube. Even though they show their faces, they're not very good at what they do. But I do believe in general it holds you accountable to what you say and do, right? So if you are on the long run always trying to do the right thing, then people will see that and accord you the trust that you should be accorded. Right, then finally he talks about leverage, right? So what is leverage? It comes from capital, people, and products with no margin cost or replication, right? So the last one is actually referring to code and media, right? So YouTube is part of what falls into media, right? So capital is clearly borrowing money lah, right? So people is you are in management, right? So then the last one I think is the easiest to do, right? Which is code and media, right?